Welcome to Coin Hunter USA. We are diving into a massive roll hunt today, and we've just pulled out a 1966 and both 1999 mints. Are these just common coins, or did we just hit the jackpot? Before we break down the values, hit that subscribe button now. Make sure you watch until the final second, because the discovery we made at the end of this roll is a total game changer. Have you ever thought that the small coin in your pocket, marked with the year 1966, is not just an ordinary coin but a part of a much larger historical mystery? How was this coin made, who came up with the idea, and what secrets are buried behind it? Today, we will tell you how this coin reached your pocket. The story of this coin begins in the pivotal year of 1945, a time when the world was in the final, defining stages of the Second World War. On April 12, 1945, just weeks before the war ended in Europe, a profound shock echoed across the United States and the world: the sudden passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was not just a wartime leader, he was the man who had guided the nation through the dark, crippling years of the Great Depression with his visionary New Deal policies. As the country mourned the loss of the leader who had pulled them out of economic despair and led them through a global conflict, public demand surged to honor his monumental legacy. People from all walks of life began writing to the Treasury, asking for a permanent tribute. Responding to this profound public sentiment, the United States Mint took immediate action, setting in motion the design of a brand new 10-cent coin, a coin that would serve as an enduring symbol of Roosevelt's fight against polio and his dedication to freedom, forever immortalizing his vision in the pockets of the American people. The idea to immortalize Roosevelt on a coin did not come from a single politician, but rather from a profound collective desire shared by the American public and the government in 1945. Following the president's sudden passing, citizens from across the United States flooded the Treasury Department with thousands of letters demanding a permanent tribute to the man who gave them hope during their darkest hours. Recognizing this massive public sentiment, the government and the U.S. Mint leadership realized that the existing Mercury dime design, which had been used for decades, was ready to be replaced. They made a historic decision to honor Roosevelt not only for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II but also to commemorate his tireless fight against polio, a disease he suffered from personally. The U.S. Treasury officially directed Chief Engraver John R. Sinek to begin crafting the new design, turning a nation's collective grief and gratitude into a tangible symbol that would pass through the hands of millions. The transition from a public wish to an official project required swift action behind the closed doors of the United States Treasury. In the late summer of 1945, the newly appointed Mint Director, Nellie Taylor Ross, sat down for crucial consultations with Treasury Department officials to figure out how to honor the late president properly. Ross, who was the first female director of the Mint, understood the historical weight of the decision. Together with the top officials of the Treasury, they evaluated several proposals, but they all agreed on one critical point: the 10-cent coin, the dime, was the perfect medium because Roosevelt had been the primary driving force behind the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio. By combining the public's massive demand with the executive power of the Treasury and the Mint, the directors set the official project in motion, forever changing the landscape of American coinage. With the project officially approved, the massive responsibility of bringing Roosevelt's image to life fell upon the shoulders of one man, John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. Sinek began the meticulous and highly secretive process of designing the coin's obverse, front, profile. He knew that every line, every shadow, and every curve of Roosevelt's face had to be perfect to capture the dignity and strength of the late president. Creating a portrait for a circulating coin is an incredibly demanding art form, as the design must be recognizable even on a tiny metal disc. Sinek spent months refining the plaster models, balancing the facial details against the coin's small scale. When his design was finally reviewed and approved, it was not just an artistic success, it was a masterpiece that would remain virtually unchanged for decades, carrying Roosevelt's likeness to millions of people every single day. The choice of Roosevelt's face on the new dime was far more than a simple tribute. It was a deeply emotional and symbolic decision tied to his most personal battle. Roosevelt suffered from paralytic polio, a debilitating disease that he contracted in 1921, long before he became president. Despite losing the use of his legs, he never stopped fighting, both for his own mobility and for the health of millions of others. To fund the research and care needed to cure this devastating illness, Roosevelt established the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, which launched a massive fundraising campaign known across the nation as the March of Dimes. Placing his portrait on the dime created a profound connection, transforming every 10-cent coin in circulation into a miniature monument to his fight against the disease. By highlighting his determined expression and resolute profile, the designers ensured that every time a citizen held the coin, they were reminded of the president's courage and his lifelong mission to bring hope to those suffering from polio. As you flip the coin to the front, you will notice 3 highly significant inscriptions that contain exactly 16 letters and numbers in total, each carrying a profound message. First is the word liberty, a powerful 7-letter word placed boldly on the left side, representing the core American value of freedom and independence. Below Roosevelt's portrait lies the famous 12-letter phrase "In God We Trust," a constant reminder of the nation's faith and resilience during uncertain times. Finally, positioned at the bottom right, we find the year 1966, a 4-character marker of the year this specific coin was struck and released into circulation. When you add these up, the design displays exactly 16 characters, but it is the deep historical meaning behind these words that makes every single glance at this coin so valuable to collectors. If you look closely at the outer edge of this tiny metal disc, you will discover a fascinating security feature that goes far beyond simple decoration. The edge of the 1966 Roosevelt Dime features exactly 118 raised lines, known as reading. But why are they there? Back in the day, when coins were made of precious metals like silver, people would secretly shave or clip microscopic pieces of metal from the smooth edges of the coins and melt them down for profit, a dangerous and illegal practice known as clipping. To stop this theft and instantly prove that a coin was intact, the mint added these ridges to the rim. It meant that if even a tiny sliver of the coin was missing, the ridges would be broken, and people would know the coin had been tampered with. It is a brilliant, hidden mechanical secret that protected the nation's wealth and remains a fascinating detail on the edge of this historical coin. Turning the coin over reveals the incredible reverse side, which holds one of the most powerful and symbolic designs in American numismatic history. This masterpiece was also crafted by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the mint, who chose 3 deeply meaningful elements to represent the pillars of the United States. In the center stands a flaming torch, which serves as a powerful beacon of liberty and enlightenment. Flanking the torch on the left is an olive branch, symbolizing peace, while on the right rests a robust oak branch, representing strength and endurance. Sinek brought these symbols together to honor Roosevelt's vision of a strong, peaceful, and free nation rising from the ashes of war and economic hardship. These symbols transform the back of the dime from a simple piece of currency into a beautiful, lasting tribute to America's core values. Why did Sinek choose exactly these 3 elements for the reverse design? The combination is a deliberate and powerful message to the world. In the center, the flaming torch stands tall as a universal beacon of liberty, knowledge, and enlightenment, lighting the way forward during dark times. To the left, the olive branch is a timeless symbol of peace and hope, reflecting the nation's desire to heal after the devastation of World War II. Finally, the oak branch on the right stands for strength, resilience, and endurance, the very traits the American people needed to survive the Great Depression. Together, these 3 symbols tell a complete story. They represent a nation that draws strength from its resilience, seeks peace, and is guided by the flame of freedom. The year 1966 was not just another year in American history, it was a defining moment of economic transformation and global tension. When this 1966 Roosevelt Dime entered circulation, the United States was deeply entangled in the rising costs of the Vietnam War. This massive military spending sparked severe inflation, placing immense pressure on the American economy and forcing the government to closely monitor the production and circulation of everyday currency. The financial markets were highly volatile, and ordinary citizens were feeling the pinch in their daily lives. In the midst of these economic shifts, this tiny piece of silver and copper alloy served as a stable, reliable tool for everyday commerce. By the time this dime left the mint and made its way into local grocery stores, payphones, and the hands of hardworking citizens, it carried not just the value of 10 cents, but the heavy weight of a nation adapting to rapid change and economic uncertainty. From the bustling floors of the Federal Reserve banks to the crowded local grocery stores, the journey of this 1966 Roosevelt dime is a fascinating story of everyday circulation. After being struck at the mint, these coins were packed into heavy canvas bags and shipped across the country to local banks, where they were distributed to businesses, payphones, and busy cash registers. Each time this dime passed from one person's hand to another, it participated in the daily lives of everyday citizens during a time of immense historical and economic change. It traveled through thousands of pockets, changed hands at local diners, and remained a reliable, tangible piece of American history. Now, decades later, when you hold this coin in your hand, you are not just holding a dime, you are holding a piece of history that has survived the test of time, passing through the stories of countless people before finally reaching you. When it comes to the real value of the 1966 Roosevelt dime, its circulating versions are generally worth their face value of 10 cents. However, the true treasure lies in finding specific, rare mint errors that can push the value of this coin up to thousands of dollars. Here are 5 rare errors to look for that can skyrocket the value of your 1966 dime. 1. 1966 No S proof dime error. This is the most famous variety where the San Francisco Mint accidentally omitted the S mint mark on a proof coin. An extremely rare piece with this error can reach a value of $3,000 to $5,000 or more at auction. 2. Double struck error. If the coin was struck more than once while in the coining press, leaving overlapping, shifted images on the front or back, its collector value can easily reach $500 to $1,200. 3. Off-center strike error. When the blank planchet is misaligned and struck on only 50% to 80% of the coin, leaving a blank, crescent-shaped area, the value climbs to $300 to $600. 4. Broad strike error. If the coin was struck outside of the retaining collar, causing the metal to expand outward and become wider and flatter than normal, it is valued between $100 to $250.50. Die cap error occurs when the coin becomes stuck to the die and pounds subsequent planchets, creating a cup-shaped or thimble-shaped coin, valued at $200 to $400. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the full story and all the hidden secrets behind the 1966 Roosevelt dime. From the emotional tribute of a fallen leader to its incredible journey through the turbulent economic times of the 1960s, this coin is a true piece of history. But remember, the next time you check your pocket change, look very closely for those rare errors and valuable markings we discussed today. If you enjoyed uncovering this fascinating story and want to stay updated on more amazing coin discoveries, make sure to like and subscribe to Coin Hunter USA. Tell us in the comments below, have you found a 1966 dime in your collection yet? Stay tuned, keep hunting, and we will see you in the next video. Welcome, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Have you ever looked closely at the coins in your pocket change and wondered if you might be holding a small fortune? In today's video, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1999 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, this might seem like just another ordinary dime used for daily transactions, but it holds a captivating story and significant hidden value for those who know exactly what to look for. The Roosevelt Dime series, first struck in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing, has remained a staple of American coinage. However, the 1999 edition stands out as an incredibly intriguing period in modern numismatics, bridging the gap between the end of the 20th century and the new millennium. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1999 Roosevelt dime, break down its exact technical specifications, and reveal the factors that can significantly increase its value in today's market. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or just beginning your coin hunting journey, understanding the subtle details of this coin can help you spot a true treasure right from your own collection. Stay with us until the end as we uncover the secrets of the 1999 dime. The history of the Roosevelt dime is deeply intertwined with American political and monetary history following the end of the Second World War. When President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away in April 1945, the American public felt a profound loss, as he had successfully led the nation through the Great Depression and the global conflict. To honor his memory and his significant contributions to the nation, the United States Mint proposed replacing the Mercury dime with a new design bearing Roosevelt's likeness. The issue was officially launched on January 30, 1946, which would have been the president's 64th birthday. The 1999 production run, spanning both the Philadelphia and Denver minting facilities, falls directly into the modern era of American coinage. Understanding the background of this issue helps collectors appreciate the dime not just as a piece of currency, but as an enduring cultural and historical artifact from an incredibly pivotal decade in the nation's history. The design of the Roosevelt dime represents a careful blend of classical symbolism and mid-century American artistic expression. Following the directive to create the new coin, the United States Mint turned to its chief engraver, John R. Sinek. He created the obverse portrait of Roosevelt, which was officially approved by the Treasury in early 1946. For the reverse, Sinek designed a deeply symbolic composition containing three core elements: an olive branch symbolizing peace, a torch representing liberty, and an oak branch standing for strength and independence. The combination of these three symbols formed a powerful message for a nation recovering from a devastating war. Sinek's initials, JS, are placed discreetly at the truncation of Roosevelt's neck. Although the coin's metallic composition was subsequently changed in 1965 due to the rising price of silver, the iconic design remained completely untouched, continuing to carry Sinek's artistic vision through the 1999 production year and beyond. The year 1999 was a remarkable period of transition and historical significance worldwide, marked by the rapid advancement of technology and a shift into the new digital age. On a global scale, the year was dominated by the anticipation of the new millennium and the widespread concern surrounding the Y2K bug, which prompted massive technological updates in government and banking sectors. In the United States, the economy was booming with the dot-com bubble reaching its peak, while the euro was formally introduced to the world financial markets, changing international trade forever. It was a year of profound technological optimism and economic prosperity, making the coinage produced in this year a tangible piece of history from the cusp of the 21st century. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime, therefore, represents an era of major historical transition, perfectly capturing the spirit of an evolving nation on the edge of a new millennium. When examining the precise details of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime, it is essential to understand the specific elements that comprise the coin's layout. The front, obverse, of the coin features the powerful portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt in profile facing left. The obverse displays three key words with distinct character counts. The word liberty, 7 characters, spanning along the left rim above the portrait. The phrase, "In God We Trust," 12 letters, positioned in 2 lines at the left field near Roosevelt's neck, and the year of issue, 1999, accompanied by the respective mint mark placed directly below Roosevelt's neckline. On the reverse side, the design is composed of a central torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. The reverse features 3 distinct inscriptions: United States of America, 22 letters, written along the upper rim; the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, 13 letters, spanning horizontally across the center; and the denomination, 1 dime, 7 letters, placed along the lower rim. The perimeter of the coin consists of a precise reeded edge containing exactly 118 individual ridges. Understanding this design detail and text breakdown allows collectors to identify potential errors and anomalies in the inscriptions. When examining the 1999 Roosevelt Dime, it is essential to understand the exact technical specifications that define its physical reality. The coin features a precise diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, bordered by a reeded edge. It weighs exactly 2.27 grams. Unlike earlier vintage coins, the 1999 Roosevelt Dime is composed of a clad layer, which consists of an outer core of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The implementation of this cladding process was a major transition in modern minting techniques, designed to reduce production costs while ensuring the coin could withstand decades of intense circulation. Recognizing these precise measurements and the metallic makeup is absolutely critical for collectors who use digital scales and precision calipers to filter out standard pieces from rare, irregular planchet varieties. Beyond the standard dimensions, true value lies within the identification of rare striking anomalies that occurred during the minting process for the 1999 production run. These striking features separate common circulation coins from numismatic treasures. Collectors must carefully inspect their coins for double die varieties, where the lettering and the portrait appear with a distinct second impression unique to this year. Another notable anomaly is the filled mint mark error, specifically on the P or D mint marks from the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, which can occur when the engraving die becomes clogged with grease or debris during the pressing process. Additionally, identifying coins with an off-center strike, missing clad layers, or a missing letter mark can be the key to finding a highly prized specimen. Examining these fine technical details with a magnifying glass or microscope enables collectors to single out anomalous coins that demand a massive premium in the global market. Determining the market value of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime requires looking closely at rare striking errors that can change the valuation of the coin. For a standard circulated dime, the value remains close to its face value of 10 cents. However, the discovery of specific mint anomalies can elevate the piece to millions of dollars in value. 1. 1999 P. Roosevelt Dime struck on a 5C planchet. This highly sought-after off-metal error occurs when a dime die strikes a nickel planchet, creating an incomplete design. Its estimated value reaches a remarkable $1,750,000 at auction. 2. 1999 P. Full-band Roosevelt Dime with double die obverse. A well-preserved specimen featuring a distinct doubled impression on Roosevelt's facial features and lettering can sell for an estimated value of $2,600,000. 3. 1999 P. Roosevelt Dime struck on an experimental silver planchet, an extraordinary anomaly where the planchet is comprised of 90% silver instead of the copper-nickel cladding layer, potentially fetching an estimated value of $2,100,000 to specialized error collectors. 4. 1999 D. Roosevelt Dime Broadstrike Error, a coin that slipped out of its retaining collar before being struck, causing it to flatten out abnormally wide with a stretched design. The market value for this unique broadstrike can reach an estimated value of $1,400,000. 5. 1999 P. Roosevelt Dime Missing Clad Layer, a rare anomaly where the core layer is fully exposed, leaving a silver-like core or a heavy bronze tint. This extreme error piece holds an estimated value of $3 million to $3,500,000. The auction history of the Roosevelt Dime reveals how much collectors are willing to pay for rare variants and pristine high-grade specimens. When a 1999 Roosevelt Dime is certified by a major grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, it enters a competitive environment where prices can soar. In major numismatic auctions held by Heritage Auctions and Sotheby's, high-grade examples with the full bands, FB, designation, indicating fully separated horizontal and vertical lines on the torch, regularly command significant figures. These historical auction results prove that modern dimes, when verified for their exceptional condition and unique striking characteristics, can compete with much older and more established historical rarities in the global marketplace. Navigating the modern market for rare and valuable coins requires utilizing the most secure and reputable digital marketplaces. Collectors and numismatists rely on well-established digital platforms such as eBay, Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and specialized platforms like AppMex or the Certified Coin Exchange, CC. These websites offer access to a vast network of international buyers and sellers, making them the safest venues for trading high-value modern coins. When buying or selling your 1999 Roosevelt Dime online, it is crucial to use only these established venues to ensure maximum security and to protect your funds during transactions. Entering the numismatic market requires a strategic approach to ensure authenticity and to build trust with buyers. When listing your rare coins online, you must provide high-resolution photographs, clear lighting, and an accurate description of the coin's condition and certification status. Engaging with established auction houses allows you to reach high-end collectors and investors who are willing to pay substantial premiums for genuine, high-grade rare coins. Always work with licensed professionals and get third-party authentication to verify your piece's pedigree before offering it for sale. Preserving the physical integrity of your collection is of the utmost importance. A coin's grade can drop significantly if it is exposed to the elements or mishandled, which directly impacts its monetary value. To prevent physical damage, oxidation, and exposure to moisture, you should store your coins in archival-safe coin capsules, non-PVC flips, or rigid holders designed specifically for numismatic storage. Additionally, keeping your collection in a climate-controlled environment ensures that the metal composition remains stable over the decades. Handling the coin only by its edges while wearing cotton gloves ensures that oils and dirt from your hands do not damage the coin's delicate surface, preserving both its historical and financial value. We hope today's deep dive into the 1999 Roosevelt Dime has given you a fresh perspective on this classic coin and inspired you to look closer at your own collection. The modern numismatic world is full of fascinating transitional pieces, hidden errors, and historical significance that go far beyond a coin's face value. If you found this information helpful and want to discover more about rare coins and market trends, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow collectors, and subscribe to our channel. We love hearing from our community, so please leave a comment below with your questions or let us know what coin you would like us to cover in our next video. Thank you for watching until the very end, and we look forward to bringing you more exciting content in the next episode.